Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, friends, here at London Business School, we know that our vision is to have a profound impact on the way the world does business. And we do that in 4 ways. Firstly, via our research, we seek to generate, to explore, and to test new ideas. Secondly, via our communication. We disseminate our own and others' research via degree programs, via executive education, and via academic debate. Thirdly, via our service. We reach out to serve the wider academic community, to work directly with business leaders, and to contribute to public policy. And fourthly, via our community. There are those, many here, who work tirelessly within our organization to develop, to mentor, and to inspire. Our school is also privileged to honor those who share and fulfill our vision. And today, that privilege is very personal for me as we honor one of my own teachers and my own mentors, Hyun Shin. Hyun's impact has been felt and felt profoundly via all 4 of those channels: research, communication, service, and community. Firstly, research. As an academic economist, Hyun was an early innovator in studying the role of higher-order beliefs, that is, beliefs about what others believe about others, and their role in coordination. In a coordination scenario, people want to do what others do, and so they need to know what others know. Hyun's work has crystallized our understanding of how different kinds of information, some public perhaps, maybe some more private, determine those higher-order beliefs and so influence choices. Moreover, he has sharpened predictions of when and how people will, or indeed sometimes will not, coordinate their actions. However, Hyun is not just a highbrow economic theorist. He has applied his ideas successfully to important real-world scenarios, such as exchange rate attacks, bank runs, the pricing of debt under default risk, policy communication, and central bank design. Beyond economics, finance, and accounting, others in other disciplines have built upon his work to understand many issues ranging from socially networked communication all the way through to political leadership. Secondly, communication. On paper, Hyun writes beautifully. But many of us have also been lucky enough to hear his lectures and presentations, both as his students and as his colleagues. Now, we know that his research reveals a gifted sense of direction. However, he is also blessed with true clarity of communication. His research has emphasized the important role of common understanding, but the clarity of his teaching helps us to achieve that understanding. Thirdly, service. Hyun has, of course, served many learned societies in various academic roles, and he's done so with great distinction. However, his service now extends well beyond academia. As you'll know, he served his home nation as a presidential advisor in Korea, and now he serves globally as head of research at the Bank for International Settlements. You have heard how his research yielded new insights into bank runs and the effect of default risk on debt pricing. It seems to me that today's context cries out for somebody with a deep understanding of these and other aspects of financial stability. And here he is, the right person, in the right place, at the right time, serving the global community. Fourthly, finally, and frankly most personally for me, great community leaders develop, mentor, and inspire others. I am one of many colleagues who have treasured Hyun's advice, his wisdom, and his inspiration. His ideas underpin our research, his clarity motivates our teaching. And I hope that we, and indeed all of you, are inspired to follow him by delivering exceptional and selfless public service. Hyun, we celebrate your achievements, your impact, and your service. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dean and Chairman will now confer the honorary degree upon Professor Hyun Shin.
By the authority of the governing body of London Business School, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science in Economics, honoris causa.
Well, David, I'm speechless. Thank you for that very generous introduction. And thank you to Andrew and to Perv for giving me this honor. It's really, truly a tremendous honor to join you on this very happy occasion. And it's especially good to share this event with all of you and your friends and family for the Executive MBA, for the Masters in Management, and for the Sloan program as well. I suppose it is a cliche that the world is more connected, but as we know with what's going on around the world, any commotion in one corner of the world is going to reverberate throughout the world, rather like the acoustics here, actually, like the sound reverberating in this fantastic venue as well. But this is a really good venue for this event. It beats the tent, definitely. Now, when your teachers approached me for this honor, I had a chance to reflect on the intellectual journey and how I got here. It's been a little bit of a roundabout route. It looked fairly logical for each individual step, but when I look back, it's been a very long and circuitous route. So as David has mentioned, I've come from the foundations of game theory, where we solve equations and prove theorems, and now I'm worrying about international finance and global liquidity. In a funny kind of way, those two things happen to be related, as David mentioned. I started off worrying about higher order uncertainty, which is what you believe about others' beliefs. And therefore, if there is uncertainty, it's not just the uncertainty about the fundamentals ruling the world, but rather the uncertainty of others' uncertainty. And it's that uncertainty that, again, rather like the sound here, reverberates in one's own mind, figuratively speaking. And through that, I think we try to find a way through, but trying to think about how that process happens in real life was a real revelation for me. It's also very appropriate that today, because of the tube strike, my wife and I walked across the pedestrian bridge. Used to be called Hungerford Bridge, and now I suppose it's the Jubilee Bridge. When I was lecturing at the LSE, I used to tell the story of the Millennium Bridge, which is a little bit further downstream from here. You should remember this was a bridge that was opened in 2000, and as soon as the bridge was opened, it started to wobble very violently. It was closed and remained closed for about 18 months. And it turned out that in spite of all the state-of-the-art engineering and the stress tests, it was vulnerable to shaking at a particular frequency, which coincided, it's 1 hertz, 1 cycle per second, the frequency with which you and I would normally walk. And so what the modelers had neglected was the fact that this pedestrian bridge would have a lot of pedestrians. And what had happened was that the computer had not factored in, these computer stress tests had not factored in the fact that the people would react to the events around them. And so when a small gust of wind came, it would shake the bridge a little bit. All the pedestrians would, of course, react to maintain their balance. But here's the trick. They all reacted at the same time. And when they all reacted at the same time, that itself moves the bridge, just as people standing up in a boat would actually rock the boat. And so I tend to think of this in the way that financial market prices affect outcomes, because prices are a fantastic way to coordinate beliefs. It's not simply a reflection of what's going on in the economy, but it's also an imperative to action. It's a cue to how you should behave. And just as pedestrians would adjust their stance on the bridge, banks may adjust their trading positions or adjust their balance sheets, thereby affect the prices themselves. And then once you're in this loop, then you're really stuck. Now, what gives me a special pleasure standing here is that the London Business School is really, in some ways, intellectually a very close fit with what I've been doing. And I remember with great fondness seminars in microeconomics, and then macro, and then even accounting, and of course finance as well. And I was sitting next to Linda Grattan, who is going to be given an Excellence in Teaching Award. And I was trying to figure out what's the link between what I've been doing and organizational behavior. And it seems that there are very close links there too, because leadership and teamwork, they're really about coordination in some ways. And doing things right, doing the right thing is about the fundamentals, but doing it together is about coordination. And so I would argue that there is some link there as well. And as a policymaker, of course, it's a slightly different line of business. And one thing that you quickly realize is that all the optimization subject to constraints that we learned and then we teach our students turn out to be not very useful. Because most of the time, you're trying to relax the constraints rather than optimize. So it's really trying to find wiggle room, which takes up most of your time. It's really all about creating slack and creating room for maneuver. But throughout all of this, it's, I think, very important to have a very clear idea of where you're headed with some kind of intellectual compass. And I think it's in this context that the academic background, the academic discipline, I think comes in very useful. So let me thank Andrew and Apurv again for this great honor, and thank you all and the friends and family for allowing me to share this very happy event with you. Thank you very much.